5 for Family. So glad that you're joining us again today. So today we have quite the special treat. Our reader is fantastic, loves the body, loves our kids, and is affectionately known as Sister First Lady. Sister First Lady! So, Deidre, on to our story.
Hello family, welcome to Story Time. It's Lady D here, and boy have I missed you guys. I'm so happy to see you guys tonight. Tonight I'm going to be reading a story for you, and the story is called The King of All Kings. The story of the 3 wise men from Matthew chapter 2. Far away in the east, 3 clever men saw the very same star. The star that God had put in the sky when Jesus was born. They knew it was a sign. A baby king had been born. They had been waiting for this star. They knew that it would come. "He's here!" they shouted. "He's here!" And I'm sure if you had been there, you would have heard them laughing and dancing and singing until the sun came up. At dawn, they packed up their camels and wrapped gifts for the baby. They brought their most precious treasures of all, frankincense and gold and myrrh. Special sparkly things, lovely smelling gleamy things, just right for a king. The 3 wise men were actually, if you had met them, you would have thought they were kings because they were so rich and clever and important looking. Set off. They rode their camels across endless deserts, up steep mountains, down into deep, deep valleys, through raging waters, over grassy plains, night and day and night, for hours that turned into days, that turned into weeks, that turned into months, until at last they finally reached Jerusalem. Jerusalem was by far the most important city for miles around. As anyone could tell you, that's where a palace would be, and kings were born in palaces. So that's where they went. But they were in for a surprise. They went to see King Herod. Surely he'll know where the baby was. But he didn't. In fact, he didn't like the sound of a new king at all. It made him cross. He didn't want anyone to be king except for him. But Herod's advisor told the 3 wise men that was what was written in their books. What God had said about the baby king. Go to Bethlehem. That's where you'll find him. Suddenly, the star that had been seen in the east started moving again, showing them the way. So the 3 wise men followed the star out of the big city, along the road, into a little town called Bethlehem. They followed the star through the streets of Bethlehem, out of the nice part of town, through the not so nice part of town, and to the really not so nice part of town, down a little dirt track until it stopped right over a little house. But wait, this wasn't a palace. And there were no guards, no servants, there were no flags or red carpets or trumpets or anything. Did they get it wrong? Or was this what God meant? Sure enough, in the little house, there sitting on his mother's knee, they found the baby king. The 3 wise men knelt before the king. They took off their royal turbans and gleaming golden crowns. They bowed their noble heads to the ground and gave them their sparkling treasures. The journey that had begun so many centuries before had led the 3 wise men here. To a little town, to a little house, to a little child, to the king that God had promised David all those years before. But this child was a new kind of king. Though he was the Prince of Heaven, he had become poor. Though he was the mighty God, he had become a helpless baby. This king had come not to be a boss. This king had come to be a servant. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope that you enjoyed this story. Pastor and I love you. We cannot wait to see you in person. And until then, take care. God bless. Love you guys.
Thank you so much, Lady D. We loved having you read. So, now we're on to our question and answer portion. You guys know the rules? Don't forget to press pause. So, our first question. What did the wise men follow? Press pause. What did the wise men bring to Jesus? Press pause. Where did the wise men stop first when they were looking for Jesus? Press pause. What did Jesus come to be? Press pause. The wise men brought gifts to Jesus. What gifts can you give Jesus? Press pause. Jesus came to serve. How can you serve? Press pause. So, our activities for today are all about those last two questions. So the wise men brought gifts to Jesus. Well, what can you give Jesus? What talents and abilities and special things can you do that you can use to serve the Lord? Do you draw really well? Can you draw a picture that inspires people to think about Jesus and how much he loves us? Those kind of things. So, what I want you to do is sit down as a family and think about the gifts that you have. Not just money, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, but the kind of things that you're good at. Maybe you're super funny and you can make people laugh, and so you can make them laugh and share the gospel with them at the same time. So think about the things that you're gifted to do and how you can use those to love other people, to offer it to Jesus. And the second one is that Jesus came to serve. And so this week, your assignment, your activity is to serve one another. Everyone, pick a chore that someone in your house doesn't like to do and do it for them as a way to show that you love them, as a way to serve them. So if you don't like doing the dishes, but someone else does them all the time, take the time to do the dishes to help someone else. So your job this week is to think about and talk through as a family what gifts you have that you can offer the Lord, and also how you can serve one another this week. Find one thing you can do to help someone in your family. There's going to be some activity pages up on the church's website as well for you to do. But I just want you guys to remember to love one another, and most importantly, to love God. We miss you, we love you, and we'll talk to you soon.